Healing after Jezebel's campaign against you. Maya walked into her neighborhood coffee shop and felt the atmosphere shift. Conversations quieted, glances darted her way, then quickly averted. She ordered her usual and moved to the pickup counter, where the barista, once friendly, now avoided eye contact. It had been like this for months, ever since Olivia had begun her whisper campaign. Maya and Olivia had once been close colleagues at the community center where Maya served as program director. When Maya declined to promote Olivia to a position she wasn't qualified for, something changed. The charming, supportive colleague transformed overnight. First came the subtle undermining in meetings. Then private conversations with board members about Maya's concerning behavior. Soon, elaborate stories circulated about Maya's alleged misuse of funds, inappropriate relationships with donors, and unstable emotional state. Each fabrication contained just enough truth: dates of meetings, names of programs to seem plausible. By the time Maya realized what was happening, the narrative had spread throughout their tight-knit community. People she had worked with for years now questioned her integrity. The board called for an audit. Friends stopped calling. "I don't understand how someone could be so calculated," Maya told her therapist, her voice breaking. "It feels like I'm fighting a ghost. The allegations are everywhere, but when I try to address them directly, they shift and change. What you're experiencing is a specific type of character assassination," her therapist explained. "It's not random cruelty. It follows a pattern designed to isolate and discredit you while keeping the attacker looking innocent." The audit eventually cleared Maya of wrongdoing, but the damage to her reputation lingered. Some relationships never recovered. For months, she questioned herself, wondering if she had somehow deserved the campaign against her. Then one morning, as she sat in meditation, a practice she had returned to for solace, a realization washed over her. Her worth was not determined by these fabricated stories. The truth of who she was remained intact beneath the rumors. She had survived the worst of it. And in that survival was the seed of a strength she hadn't known she possessed. What Maya experienced represents one of the most devastating forms of spiritual and emotional warfare: the calculated destruction of reputation and credibility through what can be called a Jezebel campaign, named after the biblical queen known for manipulation and false accusations. These campaigns are not simply mean-spirited gossip, but strategic character assassination designed to isolate, discredit, and disempower their target. Understanding the nature of these campaigns is the first step toward healing from them. They follow distinct patterns. First comes the selection phase. The perpetrator chooses a target who typically possesses something they want: respect, position, integrity, or community standing. Often, the target has established boundaries the perpetrator couldn't cross. Next is the intelligence gathering phase. Before launching public attacks, they collect information about vulnerabilities, past mistakes, or personal struggles that can be twisted or exaggerated. They identify the target's most important relationships. Then comes the isolation phase. Attacks begin privately with key people in the target's support network. Half-truths and implications plant seeds of doubt before the target even knows they are under attack. Finally, there is the public destruction phase. Once isolation has begun, more open accusations emerge, often presented as reluctant concern rather than attack. The stories evolve constantly, making them nearly impossible to definitively disprove. These campaigns are particularly devastating because they attack not just reputation but identity itself. When others believe and repeat falsehoods about you, it creates a disorienting split between who you know yourself to be and how the world now perceives you. Spiritually speaking, these attacks aim to disconnect you from your divine purpose by undermining your sense of self and cutting you off from community. They target your spiritual foundation: truth, connection, and purpose. The signs that you've been targeted by such a campaign include allegations that constantly shift when addressed directly, dramatic contrasts between your actual behavior and what's being claimed, the perpetrator positioning themselves as reluctant truth-teller rather than accuser, a sense that you're fighting shadows, unable to confront the source directly, previously solid relationships becoming suddenly strained without clear reason, feeling gaslit, questioning your own reality and worth. The path to healing after such campaigns requires reclaiming your narrative. While you cannot control what others believe, you can refuse to internalize the false narrative about yourself. Regularly affirm the truth of who you are. Rebuilding internal validation. When external validation has been weaponized against you, learning to trust your own sense of worth becomes essential. Practices like journaling, meditation, and working with a trusted therapist can help rebuild this foundation. Recognizing the pattern rather than personalizing it. Understanding that you faced a calculated campaign rather than earned rejection helps shift from "what's wrong with me" to "what pattern was at work here." Releasing the need for universal vindication. Some people will never know the truth, and pursuing complete restoration of your reputation can keep you trapped in the pain. Focus on those who matter most and your own forward path. For those who have witnessed such campaigns against others, there is important spiritual work for you to develop discernment about what you believe. Remember that skilled manipulators excel at presenting partial truths in compelling ways. Question narratives that comprehensively destroy someone's character. Consider what motivates the accuser. Watch for patterns of people who consistently discover shocking truths about others, especially after being denied something they wanted. Offer the gift of benefit of doubt. While boundaries are appropriate when serious allegations arise, complete condemnation without direct evidence may make you an unwitting weapon in someone's campaign. As for Maya, her journey toward healing took time. The audit that cleared her name helped with some relationships, but others remained fractured. 6 months after the worst of the campaign, she was invited to lead a program at a different community center in a neighboring town. At her first staff meeting there, she noticed a new employee watching her with unusual intensity. Later, the woman approached her privately. "You don't remember me, but I was at a board meeting when Olivia first made accusations against you," she said. "I believed her then, but over time, I saw the pattern repeat with others. I want you to know I'm sorry for the judgment I held." Maya felt something shift inside her, not because she needed the validation, but because it confirmed what her healing journey had already taught her. Truth may be temporarily obscured, but it cannot be permanently destroyed. "Thank you," Maya replied simply. "But I've learned that my worth isn't determined by whether someone believes lies about me or recognizes truth. Both are out of my control." The woman smiled. "That's why I wanted to work here. To learn from someone who survived what was designed to destroy them." Remember, the most powerful response to a campaign of lies is not desperate defense but quiet perseverance in truth. You survive their smear spells not by fighting every false word, but by refusing to let those words redefine who you know yourself to be. In the spiritual realm, truth and integrity possess a resilience that manipulation and lies can never match. Your healing is not just personal restoration, it is a spiritual victory against forces that would disconnect you from your authentic power and purpose.